morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. On behalf of the Foundation for European Progressive Studies, I would like to welcome you, more precisely welcome you back, because yesterday morning we already had a very intense session, a very serious discussion about climate justice in preparation for the UN summit, because we believe that all these voices, the analysis, but also the list of the actions has to be delivered to the summit of world leaders in order to demand action, and action now. After we heard the key messages, which were repeated here, including from President Robinson and the UN envoy Luis de Alba, we went to the demonstration. And it was, I think, an inspirational march. We heard many speeches, none of them shy or modest. There were a lot of clear and categorical messages, mainly from young people, but it is a matter of definition who exactly is young. I think we are all young if we think about the future, and this is the time to think seriously and with responsibility about the future of humanity. We took inspiration from New York City, which is a dynamic one all the time. It never sleeps, as we know, but it is also a city of multilateralism. And even if we have all different types of criticism or even skepticism about specific institutions or organizations, we believe that this is the system that needs to be trusted in order to ensure that in the right forum, the right decision will be taken, and this would be followed by implementation as well. What kind of action did we demand yesterday? And I think we continue the discussion on these issues today. It's a lot about the economy. It's not simply about a few pieces of legislation that need to happen, but maybe a complete overhaul of what we think and what we do about the economic system regarding consumption as well as investment. There was a lot of talk yesterday about this. Many examples were given what kind of habits needs to change. For example, eating habits regarding meat, but also in more general terms, it's not simply about specific eating habits we need to change, but probably we need to drop the addiction of our civilization to petroleum. And this is probably one of the greatest challenges which affects energy, transport, and all various aspects of life. But it's not only about adjusting and sometimes downsizing consumption. There's a lot of investment that needs to take place, investment in renewable energy, investment in sustainable products and services. And this investment, in our belief, also is an opportunity for job creation. And that's a very important part of the whole analysis and the program we would like to present, that the way forward allows us and in fact invites us to connect the action to protect the climate and the action to protect and promote social justice. It's about somehow taking back control of our economy. And it doesn't really matter which one do you think is more dominant, whether the social aspects are supposed to be a part of a broader concern for sustainability, or you think that the demand for a clean environment is part of your broader social concerns. The point is that these have to be connected. That's why we promoted this program under the title of United for Climate Justice. We are quite proud of many European countries and the European Union itself to be a kind of leading force in this global effort. The Copenhagen Summit, the Paris Agreement took place in Europe, and the European Union itself has been driving forward this process, showing some example, but also trying to hammer out the good forward-looking decisions at a global level as well. Of course, we also know that the European countries are not perfect. There's a lot to do. And what I mentioned about the addiction, yes, there is an addiction to automotive industry in many European countries, and the structural change which is necessary is quite difficult to bring about. So we are also self-critical to the extent it is necessary. That's why we present a complex analysis in this conference, but also in others. The Foundation for European Progressive Studies did not just start this work in the recent period. This is a longer-term effort for us. We established a steering committee for climate justice, and we are really proud that the steering committee already produced very significant materials, including this report you might have picked up already in the foyer. You also should pick up your copy of the Progressive Post, which is our flagship publication, and exactly in this issue you find a lot of good articles about social, fiscal, as well as climate justice and the connection between the two. But most importantly, we are very proud that the Minister for Ecological Transition of the Spanish government, Teresa Ribera, accepted our invitation to lead this steering committee and to provide guidance to the work of this group. And we would like to hear from her what she thinks is the most important in this period, why this is the right time to express the messages about climate justice.